Okay, now we're going to work on the next set of problems. There's a few problems that I have you do on this one, and so we're going to have to get through these 8 problems, but it's really just solving equations or simplifying, and so we want to make sure that we're doing exactly what we need to do. And I have the problems here kind of out of order, so I'm going to do them in a little different order. So you can see that I have a few problems here, which are problems 4 through 6, which are simplifying. And then I have the other problems are all solving. So we're going to do 4 through 6 first. So we're going to move over to another sheet of paper. And when we move over to that sheet of paper, we're going to, of course, write down that problem. We're going to write down the first problems and just kind of start going through them. Change it back over to a different color. So we actually have the ability to be able to write those problems down. So I have 3 times x minus 2 equals 5. So 3 times x minus 2 equals 5. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to distribute. Distribute means I'm going to multiply all the terms in the parentheses. So it's going to be 3x minus 6 equals 5. I don't change the 5. Notice I'm just writing things down as we go. Then I'm going to add 6 because we do the addition or subtraction first. Remember, we do it to both sides of the equal sign. There's the equal sign. So we have 3x equals 11. Then we're going to divide both sides by 3. That's my last step. It's always the opposite. That's 3 times x, and so that's why we do the division. That becomes 1. So x equals 11 over 3. So that would be your answer for the first one. The second one, well, number 4. So, I'm doing the equals first. Sorry, I did them a little backwards. So I'll just continue doing that. So now I have 4 times a plus 3 equals a minus 2. So I have 4, I got to go back and look, a plus 3, a minus 2. So a plus 3 equals a minus 2. Again, distribution is going to come first. I'm going to distribute that through. So that is 4a plus 12 equals a minus 2. Then I need to get the a's on one side and the numbers on the other side. So I'm going to subtract a and subtract a. That's the only way that will go away because that becomes 0. That is 3a because it's 4 minus 1 plus 12 equals negative 2. I'm going to subtract 12 from both sides because that becomes 0. I then have 3a equals negative 14 when I add those two up. And then I divide both sides by 3. So that gives me 1a, or just a, equals negative 14 over 3. So now I have 2 of the problems done. And now let's go to the third problem. So for the third problem, 2k plus 1 equals 5. So I have 2k plus 1 equals 5. This is problem number 3, and this is another solution problem. So we are going to find the value of k. I'm going to subtract 1 because I'm adding. Remember that we do the adding or subtracting first. Those cancel. That becomes 0. So I have 2k equals 4 because 5 minus 1 is 4. I then divide both sides by 2. So k, because it's 1k, equals 2. So now I've done 3 of the problems. And now, since I did them in the opposite order, I'm going to go ahead and continue with the equal sign. So let's do number 7 next. So x plus 3 over 2 equals 6. So x plus 3 over 2 equals 6. Let me just verify that that was the problem. Yep. And so notice that I'm dividing the whole thing by 2. So my first step would be to multiply because I'm not adding or subtracting anything to the whole thing. I am to the x. But because of that 2 in the denominator, I want to multiply first. And let me explain why. Because that 2 and that 2 will cancel. That's what we really want to do. And so I get x plus 3 equals 12, because 6 times 2 is 12. I'm then going to subtract 3 from both sides, so I get x equals 9. So x equals 9 for number 7. And then we'll do number 8. So we have 5x plus 2 equals 3x minus 6. So 5x plus 2 equals 3 times x minus 6, just like that. So that's problem number 8. And now my first step is to go to the right side and do my distribution. So I'm just going to leave this alone. Notice that I just keep rewriting the equation. It just makes it easier than just trying to remember all of that. 3 times 6 is 18, so that's negative 18. I'm then going to get the x's on the same side, so it's easier for me to subtract 3x, so that becomes 0. And then 5 minus 3 is 2x plus 2 equals negative 18. My next step then is to subtract 2 from both sides, so that becomes 0. So I have 2x equals negative 20. And then finally, I divide both sides by 2, so x equals negative 10. So those are the 5 solving problems that we need to do for this exit ticket. My next video will go into the simplification of some of those problems, which are 3 of the problems.